Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Okay. So this is hello everyone. It's beginners piano lesson 1, and it's going to be really interesting. So just for me to try to let some other persons know I'm currently online. If you are totally new to piano and you've not had any experience, playing piano before, this is for you. So I'm going to advise you flow up with this lesson. This part 1. There's part 2. There's part 3. Several parts. So make sure you follow up to the last. And if 1 second. All right. Okay. I'm trying to share this live. So I'll be addressing a lot of stuff by the way. Okay. Oh, so the thumbnail. I'm supposed to change my thumbnail. But I might change the thumbnail later because the thumbnail currently is not what is supposed to be there. Understand? So this is beginner's piano lesson. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm going to try and be fast, but it's all good. If you're joining, don't forget to drop a comment so we can flow. So when you look at someone who you've never seen keyboard before, and you have to look at the keyboard, what do you see? So this is it. So there are usually 2 black keys on the keyboard and 3 black keys. So you see 2 black keys and 3 black keys. Then you get to see the white keys. So they're white keys, then you have 2 black keys, 3 black keys. Understand? So flow. Slow and steady. Now, let's understand this. Now, there's something called the sharp and the natural. So the black keys are known as sharp keys. This is for entry levels, those people who just sing keyboard for the first time, trying to explain to you. So the black keys are called the sharp keys. Why? The white keys are called the natural keys. Now, the black keys have 2 names. They come in 2 names depending on where you're going to. Either call them the flat keys or sharp keys. I'm going to explain that in details maybe later on. While the white keys are the natural keys. Now let's continue. Now you see 2 black keys, 3 black keys. Now before we even illustrate what these keys are, there's the music alphabet, which consists of numbers. So musical keys. All these consist of several music keys. And we have 12 music keys, 12 keys, which we have sharp keys, 5 sharp keys, and 7 natural keys, which we're going to explain because you have to now know how to identify each of these keys on the keyboard because they're totally different when you get to situations like when you meet the saxophone or any other instrument. It's quite different somehow. You understand? So you have the white keys, black keys. I'm going to explain that. Now in music, we start counting from C. So you have C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. If you want to write it out, you can also write it out. Just for me to further buttress this point, I'm going to create something like a notebook. Yep. So I'm going to create something like a notebook. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah. So I have something like a notebook that I'm going to write. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So you can see on my screen. So these are the musical keys. This is the 7 natural keys. It's very essential for you to know. If you know the 7 natural keys, it's easy for you to know the sharp keys. You understand? It's very easy. Now let's memorize it again. C, D, E, F, G, A, okay, and B. Good. Now let's switch back. Now, memorize it very well. You're just learning the piano, memorize it. Now, if you look at your keyboard, you have 2 black keys, 3 black keys. Right? Now, the white key before the 2 black key is key C. Remember, I've just shown you 7 natural keys out of 12 keys. So I'm going to tell you how it's easy for you to memorize and flow with that. If you're just meeting the keyboard for the first time, this is very, very essential for you. So you see, every keyboard there's always 2 black. There are some that will start somehow funny, but always look for the 2 black keys, 3 black keys. Now, the first white key before the 2 black key, not before the white 3 black, is key C. So if you want to start counting, you want to know where you can find several keys C, look for the white key before the first 2 black keys. So now we have key C. Remember our alphabet, our music alphabet, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So if you start counting, you're going to count like this: C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Now, if you continue again, you're going to land on C. Now, if you look upwards, you see the C is just below the 2 white key, 2 black keys again. So you see it rotates. So if we count, let's look for key C. Then you look at 2 black keys. So you go C, D, E, F, G, A, B. You go again, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. You notice within the lifespan of the keyboard, you can have several key Cs that are there. So that is the way, this is how you can now know the octave of the piano you're playing. So you could say from a key to the same key is an octave. So from C to C, this is 1 octave, this is 2 octaves. So that is where we have octave. This is 3 octave. So that is where you now have some keyboard having 4 octave, 5 octave, 10 octave, 16 octave, thereabout. That's where octave comes about. Now, don't forget the 7 natural keys. We're not going to sharp. I'm treating natural first because it's easy for you to understand. Now, remember, in our board we have, let me see if I can maximize this. Make it big, view. Dun, 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 dun. I think this is how large it can go. So, don't forget, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, which I've explained how you can locate them on the keyboard. I mean, as a total beginner, you're going to get this. Now, out of this C, D, E, F, G, A, B, every key here has a sharp key. Apart from B and apart from E and B. So I'm going to put B and E. B and equals no sharp. So no sharp keys. So all these natural keys, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, they all have sharp keys apart from E and B. So there's no key E sharp. There's no key B sharp. Very, very essential for you to know. And I'm going to explain it so that you understand how this works. I'll go again. There's no key E sharp. There's no key B sharp. So you understand how it works. Okay. Now let's continue. Now, to now know the sharp keys that we have here, the sharp keys we have will be C, C sharp. Okay, I'm trying to get what sharp is now. I'm trying to find the sharp. Something's taking off my sharp. So C sharp, you have, I'm going to use something else to represent the sharp. Let me look for it. Okay. Yep. 1 second. Something has taken my sharp sign. So let's just say C sharp. So I'm going to spell it sharp, but that's not the symbol. You have D sharp. You have F sharp. You have G sharp. You have A sharp. Now, if you see, these are 5 sharp keys. Now, among all these 5 keys, there's no E sharp and there's no B sharp. So, if they tell you list the 7 natural keys, you're going to say C, D, E, F, G, A, B. If they're going to tell you list the 5 sharp keys, you're going to say C sharp, D sharp. You skip E because there's no E sharp. You go F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. You skip B. So, if you combine all of it, let me introduce you to the keyboard so you see. So, if we come back to our keyboard now, see the 5 sharp keys. Now, you've already known how to locate your key C. You look for the 2 black keys, so you have your key C just before. So C. So the first sharp key is C sharp. So see the first black key, C sharp, the second black key, D sharp, the third black key, F sharp, the fourth black key, G sharp, and the fifth one, A sharp. There's no space for E sharp and B sharp. Now I'm going to explain. Now if you have C, we go to the natural now, you have C, D, E. You see, after E, there's no black key, and that is why there's no sharp for E. Now, if you count to B, this is B, key B. There's no black key, and that is why there's no sharp for key B. Very, very important for you to know. All right. Now, let's continue. 1 second. Okay, now gonna continue. It's gonna continue right now. Okay, good. Now, if you're counting all the keys, you'll say you're gonna start from C. So C, natural keys C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Sharp keys C sharp, D sharp, F sharp. No E sharp, remember, G sharp and A sharp. I'm repeating it so that you can grab it. Then, if you want to list all the 12 keys as it should be, it's going to be C, you go to C sharp, go to D, D sharp, you go to E. There's no black key, so there's no sharp for E. So after E, you go to F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. Then you rotate again to C, so music rotates. You understand? If I go again, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. You start again. C, there's another octave. C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. You keep going. So with this, you can run through several octaves as you want. Easy. So this is how you know the 12 keys. And also how you can find them on the keyboard, illustrated on the keyboard. Points to note, there's no sharp key for key E and key B. You only have 5 sharp keys, which is C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. To pronounce the 12 music keys, you have to go C, there's a sharp for it, so you go C sharp, D, you go D sharp, E, there's no sharp, you go F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, there's no sharp for B, you see, so you go back to C. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Everybody who is just meeting the keyboard for the first time can pretty much understand what I've just explained. So this is it about music keys and how to identify musical keys on the keyboard, and also how to know the keys. So this is very essential. So when you know this, it's easy for you. So let's do some quick assignments. When you have your keyboard, look at your keyboard and point to key C for me. So this is one key C. Can you point to another key C on the keyboard again? Point 2. Can you point key G? Can you point key A? Can you point key D? So try as much as possible to randomly just go around the keyboard and just press a key and try to figure out what key you press. It's going to be easy for you to memorize. You understand? So this is good. So I'm going to take it that you now know about musical keys, and you now know the 12 keys in music and how to identify them on the keyboard. For whatever keyboard you find yourself, wherever you see yourself playing, whatever type of keyboard, you now know how to find these keys and how to identify them pretty easy on the keyboard. So the next thing we're going to talk about on our next class will be tones, semitones, root and flat. Yeah, tones, semitones, root and flat. A lot of people don't know those musical terms, but pretty much going to explain that to you. And if you find this very helpful and useful, don't forget to share, like, and drop a comment. I'm going to see you in our next class. Bye.